Many people believe that since ancient times, when people take their first steps, the devil accompanied them. In many different ways, they're trying to attack terrorists, weakening the victim's spirit, then slowly devours the soul and invades the body. Not a few times people have recorded the evil from the church. Many of the unsubs cases have even been reported, led by the devil to commit criminal acts. Thousands of reports were written, hundreds of books on demonic science were published, done not high famous by the legendary duo Ed and Lauren Warren. Together they've dealt with over 10,000. The case is believed to involve spiritual forces, to be endlessly inspiring for the horror universe. The Conjuring is world famous. Of all the failures today, let's review the cases together. It's based on real facts. To see The Conjuring universe, what makes people cry in the theater? After returning from World War II, Ed Warren is a veteran of the US Navy. He started studying demonic science with his wife, Lauren. He was also a psychic until 1952. They founded the New England Society for Spiritual Research, specialized and learned about mysterious supernatural phenomena with the help of the Catholic Church and the Annabelle doll case. It happened in 1968. It's a classic example. According to the testimony of two nurses, Camilla and Debbie, since moving to a new apartment, strange phenomena began to appear. It started out as simple as a doll's hands in the wrong position, or the head is turned upside down even though they've deliberately turned it down. Slowly they discovered it's constantly moving from one room to another when no one is at home. Of course, if that's all there is, the doll is positive enough, because there's a possibility that this is a prank of friends, so they never detect the signs of strangers break into the house. Through a companion they'd known before, a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Hagen. He died in his own apartment. Pity for her fate. Let Annabelle enter the Kier doll. And it's only gotten worse from here. Back home after CA work on a winter evening, Camila and Debbie jerking when I saw the doll sitting in the hallway, staring at me. Although they both claim to have left it in the living room. It's worse than all the furniture being destroyed. And the moonlight crayons are everywhere. The same words, I can't write on the ceiling. Too scared, they quickly reached out to Ed and Lauren for help. Because despite throwing away the doll many times, somehow, he found his way back home, threatening Camila and Debbie to cry in the middle of the night. According to, there's no Annabelle in the doll, because ghosts don't have that kind of power. What's sitting in front of them is completely different. I am wicked and extremely treacherous, a form of evil that doesn't belong in this world. And the Annabelle doll is just a medium. That's it. To ensure safety, Ed and Lauren took the doll home, put it in the carving cabinet. The Lord's Prayer, the same heap, other haunted objects they've collected 10 in their careers. This event shocked the American media. For a long time, the press is constantly giving out many different theories. They call this the most terrifying possession. But Ed and Lauren don't think so, because there's a case that haunts them to this day. Everything happened in 1971, when Roger and Caroline Perrin, he moved to a farm in Harrisville. The same 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April. Long-distance truck driver's capital is Roger. And Caroline's excited to buy this big house, the courtyard in the suburbs, to stabilize life. But Sadie doesn't think so. Later, many spiritual researchers pointed out that animals have higher premonitions than humans. It's easy to feel what people can't feel, or seeing what we can't see. The dog won't come into the house. Not many people in Perrin's family care because they're busy tidying up. Actually, if you look at the property that Perrin owns, that would make a lot of people jealous. Spacious house. There is a garden in front. The same cool lake. It's a great place to raise kids. Not to mention playing blindfolded applause that night. Christine's daughter accidentally discovered the basement, sealed by the previous owner after the sale. Excited by this discovery, Roger hopes to find something of value. At least the family has more space. Since moving here, and strange things started happening to small families. First we have to talk about Caroline kept finding bruises all over her body. It's like getting hit by a VA somewhere. It doesn't hurt, but it makes you nervous. The house is always in condition. It's cold all day and all night. Although Roger checked the heating system and make sure it's working properly, still can't get rid of the cold air. Cover the whole house. Besides, the hole clogged the room. Both died at 3:07. That's not to mention, the kids often complain. Every midnight, the room smells bad. It smells like meat for a long time. If you are inexperienced, just listen to it. This house is showing signs of evil spirits, harassment. I don't blame my dog for not coming into the house. It didn't live long to warn its owner. Died mysteriously in the garden. For a lifetime, who doesn't believe in ghosts like Roger? Even if you say you're not sure you believe, that's right, because you're the rock and the rock for the whole family. So Roger needs to be strong. Especially in the context, the children are visibly insecure. First, let's talk about Cindy. Fourth daughter in the family. Started sleepwalking and walking around the house. If only that. Cindy always comes into Andrea's room in the middle of the night, banging his head on the closet door. It makes you panic. That's the youngest daughter. April often talks alone with an imaginary friend named Rory after finding an old toy music box in the basement. At the same time, Christine said there's an AI pulling her leg. Even though Nancy insists at the time of the incident, I was asleep and didn't touch Christine. And that was done by Christine the other night, crying bitterly because I think there's someone in the corner looking at me. It was worse than Christine said. That shadow whispered in her ear something terrible. Everything can be explained by science, Roger said, and reassured the kids he knew. Now is the time to be calm and strong. Though my heart is like a burning fire. I look anxiously at my wife. But they know where to go now. The money went into buying the land. They can't leave the house just because the kids have a dream. Talk to an imaginary friend. And again, it's ridiculous that the devil appears. So Roger did everything he could to keep the whole family safe. Until one winter night, 1971, when Roger was out of town, the whole family's painting suddenly fell apart. The barn door was locked by Roger, suddenly opened, and then suddenly collapsed, pushing Caroline into the tunnel. Not able to recover after a painful fall. A voice echoing through the darkness. I asked if he wanted to play hide and seek. Made Tim Caroline pause for fear. The situation on the second floor was no better, because Cindy's sleepwalking again and went into Andrea's room as many times as he could. Even though I took you to bed, the door still sounds like someone knocked on it. It must have been Andrea's first time. In the face of extreme fear by the spooky ghost on the top of the closet, suddenly he rushed down to attack her. Just came home from a distance. Roger heard his wife and daughter screaming across the sky, whether you want to come here or not, because even Caroline was attacked. But they know thanks to AI now. Lucky to be SAO. Caroline accidentally read an article about Ed and Lauren, who are giving a presentation at the University Western in the state, Massachusetts, for the first time in your life, to attend the lecture teaching about mysterious spiritual phenomena. According to S. Scher, demonic possession victims will go through 3 different stages, including harassment, oppression, and possession, so that the victim is physically and mentally exhausted. In the period of harassment, the soul will only approach them with a whisper, the sound of footsteps. It's as if that AI is present in the house. When this phase is over, they're going to terrorize the mentally weak, crushing them in fear. And from there to stage 3, possession of the victim's body. No, this is a life-saving emergency. Caroline pleads with Ed and Lauren, try to come to my house and look over. Because lately the whole family can't sleep. Every midnight till dawn, the whole house will smell like rotten meat. And then there's 3 bangs on the living room door, where the whole family is cramped together. Moved by the story, I can help them without waiting for them. It's the ultimate horror. From the moment I walk through the Lauren door, my face when I see the darkness hiding behind the pair and family members. Not to mention the power of Lauren's clairvoyance. I see the soul. The ghost hovers over the old tree by the lake. That sounds creepy, doesn't it? I don't blame them for suggesting an exorcism for the whole house. It's hard to understand, because Roger knew about exorcisms before. It only applies to people. Forced to explain slowly from the beginning. Your family has been targeted by the evil spirit. It's like stepping on gum. No matter where Roger's family moves, it will also come and harass them. The most terrifying thing is that this soul is so and if you don't do it well, it may have unintended consequences. All we have to do is collect 10 pieces of evidence, record the unusual events that occur in the house, to get guidance from the church, From there, we expect the church to exorcism through investigation. Edward Loren, this house is a farm. It was built by Jackson Sherman in 1863. At first, the house was very large, including the lake and the land near the edge of the forest in the distance. Things only start to get worse when the wife of his cars dedicated to the devil rise. To show loyalty is not over. She ended her life on the old tree, the lake from there on out. Anyone who steps foot on this land, they're all cursed, curse and die in many strange ways. According to a report from the police, Bathsheba time of death, it's 3:07 coincides with the time of the clock. It stopped working that Caroline once shared. Wide acquaintance and has long experience in the profession. Ed invited his assistant, drill with police officer Brad, to join me. They quickly installed the recording equipment, thermal sensor cameras throughout the house. Besides, Ed also put countless crosses in the room to provoke that dark soul. No one can explain it at SAO, only Roger, not affected. And all the members, others in the family, are attacked by the mysterious Keir entity. It was only later that Loren understood. As it is now, she's more worried about Caroline. Not while drying clothes in the yard, Loren saw a mysterious shadow. I looked at myself from Caroline's bedroom. Caroline always said she was fine, even though you were constantly tired. It's getting more and more bizarre. Because that night, Cindy went on sleepwalking and hiding behind the closet where, according to the word, April is the hiding place of Rory's imaginary friend. Every time I'm afraid. With clairvoyance, Loren connected the facts and understood the whole thing. The oath of love to Satan, the witch Bathsheba, cursed the land. That any family that comes in here will going crazy. He killed members of his family. Reunite with them and their families. Perrin was the next chosen victim. I can't explain it in detail. A series of crosses in the house fell to the ground and lifted up by some invisible force and dragging on the floor. It's horrible. Ed advised Roger, bring your family to the hotel quickly. And you and Loren are going to church for help. Before society agrees, Ed gets the drill's phone notification. Caroline disappears from the hotel with Christine. April. I guess the witch took Caroline's body. The group quickly returned to the house. Stop Caroline from harming her daughter. I don't know where April went when she was scared. So after taking Christine out to the real car, I had to go back to find my younger sister. And Ed, Loren, Brad with Roger. It's hard to control Caroline. At first, they were going to take Caroline to church. You just need to step out the door. Her flesh suddenly soars, peeling off patches. Not to mention, she was dragged back down to the basement in front of everyone's helplessness. It took 3 tall men, just kept Caroline, and tied her to a wooden chair. In times of danger, Ed decided to perform an exorcism on the spot, despite it could endanger your life. Over and over again, this treacherous entity begged Roger to help him, and then control the object to fly around. It almost hit everyone who was there that day. It even made Caroline fly. He threw her to the ground, breaking my tied chair to hear. Drill reported finding April on the kitchen floor. He ran into the corner of the room, then through a hole in the wall, crawled to the kitchen floor, summed up April. Just when all hope seemed to die, Ed called the witch Bathsheba. Banish her to hell. Culleran grabs Caroline. Remind her to fight against the evil entity Keir if you want to protect your family. Effort 5. It helps 2 couples succeed. Banish evil spirits out of Caroline's body. The end of the nightmare. But evil always knows how to find the world. Because only a few years later, shocking events in England, the Warren couple were pulled away. The Horton family case. Scary and more terrifying than anything. They saw that night at Perrin House. 1976 was a busy year for the Warrens. Before the Horton case, they still have to find the most famous murder in American history at the Amityville house. Follow that in November 13, 1974. Ronald the Field Jr., callous out close hand. They hurt all 5 members of the family in just one night. In the trial, Ronald told me the devil made you do it. That's why Ed and Loren were invited to check it out. Is there any force behind the incident? However, an unexpected incident took place at Loren's soul meeting. Suddenly I saw a ghost in the form of a nun attack me. Besides, it shows you the illusion of Ed's death. According to later accounts of the Warren family, this isn't the first time you've seen Illusion's husband in danger, but the confrontation with the female ghost at the Amityville is the scariest. This event quickly turned Ed and Lauren in the media spotlight. Many people point out the discrepancies in the information provided by the couple, as well as denying the entire investigation. The press called them a couple of cheaters. The public is suspicious. It made Ed mad. That led to this controversy. The fire on the TV. Lauren actually thinks that's a good thing, especially in the context that Ed has redrawn the terrifying "It's the nun I met in a dream." This is obviously the G-spot. She said they should withdraw from the investigation. Related to spiritual phenomena, together they can spend time with their families. Raising Judy grew up and enjoyed the peaceful days. I fully understand my wife's wishes. There's something I'm not willing to give up. The victims out there, tortured by the devil day and night. You're talking about me and Lauren. God's plan is to help the innocent. I can't stop my husband Lauren, forced to tell the nearest illusion by the devil himself. Sister Keir attacked while forced out of the house. In Lauren panic, I asked the devil's name, the moon and the unconscious, and the Bible I hold in my hand. No one could have expected. This saved S's life later. The events of that day had a significant impact on Lauren. No blame at the time. The church asked them to help investigate the family demon. Horton in London. Lauren just agreed to stand outside and report back. You're scared. Everything we do will move closer to hell. It's hard to blame Lauren, because many people later compared the Horton case. It's as bad as the event. The Amityville the Warrens investigated. To find out the most horrific case in British history, we need to go back in time a few months. Margaret and Janet play the game at home. Of course, for the kids, it's just a joke, but the devil doesn't think so. According to Peggy, the mother of the two girls, at first, there were only a few phenomena, frequently like moving Janet around the house or rocking in an old armchair, placed in the corner of the room in a state of sleepwalking. Sometimes Janet would dream, asking that AI not to harm you. Besides, my youngest brother Billy used to yell in the middle of the night when hiding in a toy tent. Is single mom Peggy given that? The four children have not really accepted. Their father has left, leading to many destabilizing actions. She didn't believe Janet's story. There's someone sitting at the armchair teases when she's home alone. Until the night of August 30th, Janet was suddenly bitten in the shoulder by that AI. The two sisters' beds shook violently. Besides, without any impact. Finished the closet, suddenly moving hard against the door behind me. It made my mother panic. The Horton family, out screaming in the middle of the night. It rocked the neighborhood. Some kind neighbors agreed to let them stay. They even called a scene. Check to see if a fake ghost threatens you. Straight into their eyes. Is that the automatic moving kitchen chair is scarier. From the walls for hours, banging loudly like that AI was deliberately teasing them. The British press is in disarray. 10 interviews. Hundreds of photos were taken. The most famous is the Janet scene. Hovered in the air with a panicked expression on her face. To the people present at the interview, Janet that day, they confirmed that she's constantly changing with her tone. Same terrifying growl accordingly. The ghost of Bill Wilkins. He died in the living room years ago. They're hunting Janet. This surreal thing is unbelievable. I don't blame the press for splitting up. I believe what Janet said. The other side thinks she's completely made up to help her file a government petition. New home for the whole family. They think it's more likely. Janet heard the neighbors tell Bill's story. Wilkins should have deliberately orchestrated the demonic possession. Lauren herself was very confused when she first arrived. Because you can barely feel the power of evil. What evil is present? Except for the fear that gripped the Horton family. The best way to test Janet, are you lying or not, is to hold an interview while she's hydrated to rule out the possibility of Janet deliberately faking Bill's her ghost voice. Didn't show up. If people don't turn away, that sounds ridiculous. Because this soul didn't exist before. You're not acting that weird. More and more mysterious events happened around the Horton family. It's like Billy's got a freak, called the Crooked Man. Or Janet shows up in the bedroom, locked up by Peggy on a leash. But if the church wants to believe, it needs evidence. The more you dig into the details, more and more anomalies are detected, as if that AI or something that's trying to convince people that it doesn't exist. And Janet's actions the night before Christmas almost help it succeed. Kick the psychics out of the investigation. It's not Peggy. He took his 3 children to the neighborhood. Janet and I are going to live in a haunted apartment. However, Ed said it's time for the whole family to be together to increase the power of love, pushing back entities that don't belong in this world. Then I contacted Morris, gross demonic field expert, with psychologist Anita Gregory, to support myself. It's like the Perrin case a few years ago. They need to install types of devices such as temperature sensor audio receiver and camera in the house next to it. All for researchers of mental phenomena. The spirit will live and live with Mrs. Peggy's family to make sure no AI. Her family deliberately destroyed the equipment in a moment of carelessness. When Ed helped her, Peggy fixed the water pipe on the other side of the tunnel. Lauren went out to talk to Dr. Morris. And Anita's looking for a place to smoke. Something that no one expected happened. The first is that Peggy screamed in fear right behind Ed. She said the AI was trying to get in the water. It even bit her hand at the same time. Janet saw someone walking around in the kitchen, and his brother Johnny bravely went in to check. Suddenly, from the other side of the table, Janet charged at me with a knife. All the doors and windows are locked. It takes a relatively long time to open. Right in their eyes, the kitchen is ruined. A lot of things are broken and Janet is screaming frantically for being stuck. Electrical cabinet system. The problem is that, after double-checking the video from the camera, Anita finds out Janet deliberately threw and smashed furniture, that this is a Horton scam. She loudly criticizes Grandma Peggy, and you guys have made this cheap view. Are in an agitated mood. You hear such hard words. Peggy couldn't stay calm. She threw Ed and Lauren out of the house. Of course, two couples. Janet's quarantine is controlled by the devil. They are also helpless by the Kier videotape. There's no way the church would accept exorcisms. Out of the way. We all left in confusion and worry. It was not until later that Janet revealed. The devil whispered in her ear that, if you don't try to drive the Kier guests away, Horton's entire family will die. Now that there's no protection from Ed and Lauren, it's very disruptive. And then there's Janet's body, attacking each member. Peggy and her children had to run away from home. The only thing real, evil can't be calculated. It was Ed who discovered the truth of the case. I have full faith in Janet's story. Calmly look back on this as outrunning idea. Two parallel tapes containing the voice of the ghost. Bill Wilkins is weird. Words that seem meaningless. It's a complete cry for help. That's when Lauren saw it. The demon nun is controlling the evil old man's ghost. However, that connection immediately when she asked how to stop the demon. I think the Hortons are in danger. Edward Lauren hurried back. Nearly every entrance to the house is locked from the inside. Only the door to the tunnel was open as soon as Ed stepped foot in there. It's closed and locked from the inside. Despite his wife's pleas, Ed decides to rush into the house alone to confront the devil. If you want to fight the devil, you need to know his name. That's what any demonic scientist knows. But the name of the demon nun is no good. In an almost desperate moment, Lauren remembered previous illusions when trying to fight the demon. You asked her name and subconsciously rewrote the name in the Bible. From the Kier side bedroom on the second floor, Janet stood there by the window. Broken, ready to plunge down, is also lucky. Ed jumped in and held her and Lauren. After a while, tried to break the door. He also succeeded in getting into the house to run back to support her husband from a dark corner. And the avatar pushed Lauren to the ground. He was glad that victory was near. Lauren didn't know his name. By the ancient uncle, Lauren via lock strapped hard. Step by step, push him back to hell. Maybe after these 7 failures, must be a long time, Vala dared to return to the world of harassment. So the nightmare is finally over. Janet and Ed are safe. The couple's museum was added to the toy, The Crooked Man, next to the music box of the Perrin case with the doll, Annabelle. 5 years after the Horton incident, the whole United States was rocked by fans for the first time in history. Report on Johnson. To be justified in his barbaric act of murder, it's controlled by spiritual forces. That you're blindfolded by the devil. It's hard to believe, but it's true. According to a report from Johnson Police, 22 consecutive shots, and Bruno, a dog farm owner, he died on the spot. This is considered the first murder in its 193-year history. The town of Brookfield. Before the incident on, it's a completely normal teenager and have a clean record. There was almost no chance to defend him. RNA on the act of barbarism. The fingerprints on the knife are obvious. Even all the descriptions and testimonies are identical. The scene is 10. So why did Ed and Lauren ink items trust and protect RNA to the end? Go back in time a few months. July 18, 1981, the Warren duo invited to the exorcism for the boy David Glasser, Debbie's brother. As noted by Father Gordon, the person in charge of the shared exorcism, in the face of many demons, the demon possessed David that night, stronger than anything you've ever seen. After smashing the bathroom mirror and stabbed my father in the leg with a piece of glass. It takes 4 people to hold an 8-year-old boy lying on the table, but it didn't take long for David to break his grip. Household items were thrown all over the place, and the cupboard, it collapsed in front of everyone. Suddenly, the wind was blowing in the middle of the room. That sent the porcelain dish straight into Gordon's head. She knocked him unconscious at the same time as Lauren. See the series, bizarre illusions that distract her. And Debbie was thrown away. You can't stand up to the mighty demon, Ed. Pick up the book. The Bible says that Golden will continue the exorcism. David jumped to his death at the crack of dawn. Between your chest gives you a heart attack, though. Ed saw his stupid act. When you allow the devil to enter you. In fact, my work comes from kindness because I don't want David to suffer anymore. Something the guy judged too low is the power of the devil, which led to a heartbreaking incident. He's the only one who knows the truth, fainted without having time to tell anyone. He's currently possessed by the devil. Until later when I wake up, Ed can tell Lauren. It's all too late. At the moment of crime, you don't seem to be yourself anymore. Because I'm constantly seeing a lot of devil attacking Debbie. In a panic, take out the knife in your pocket, leading to unintended tragedy. However, not everyone believes in because the guy's totally sober. As noted by Newman the father, it's licensed to operate in federal prisons. You can read the Bible fluently and touch most of the items related to Catholicism. That shows you're not possessed by demons, or at least the demon that possessed the body on has left. If that's the case, Ed and Lauren need to start over. About the real reason why SO boy David is haunted. Debbie told me about her first visit to David's house. Screamed the carpet because being attacked by that AI in the water cushion is not. After finding out the bed was left by the old owner, David was excited to try it. Then I discovered a hidden face, now under the cushion. Not in time to return. A hand reached out and attacked the boy. This leads to being haunted later. It's strange that if it's a ghost, there's no reason for it to attack or directly affect the victim like that, Ed. Suggests seeing a water cushion. Debbie's family threw it away a long time ago because the water from the cushion caused heavy damage to the floor. It is said that the house is not damaged by water. That the devil's nest essay increased. Lauren found under the ground. That's the main reason. That's enough to say that David is cursed. After the demon is switched on, he tried to hurt people. Usually with powerful demons like Volek, they can move freely between the two worlds. The demons summoned by witches are different. It needs to haunt that AI to commit VI murder in exchange for a soul to take to hell. This is explained at SAO after the murder of Bruno. The devil left the guy. Anon can read the Bible fluently. If so, they need to find out in the surrounding area. See if there is a similar case and drill assistant follow Ed and Lauren for years. We'll take care of this. At the same time, Ed Valoran is going to the Kastner house, who helped the church eradicate the cult, disciples of the devil years ago. No one is smarter than you in this field. Of course, home reputation was ahead of them, so Jack Kastner wasn't much. I was surprised to see to people if Ed and Lauren own a museum full of dark objects, and so is Jack Kastner. After years of studying and fighting evil, I can tell you the number of things I have. Kastner acquires 10 substance as high as the mountain. And he said that evil always has a way of being. Father Kastner's statement is strangely true because he was attacked by the evil forces in the prison. It's not that it's ridiculous or SAO, because if it's true, the devil had to go back to hell. I was confused in the thought Ed got. Drill's phone call announced a few months ago. The police recorded the murder, and there's a similar nest at the scene. According to reports about 4 months ago, Katie Lincoln, Jessica Strong was killed with 22 knife wounds. When we go out together, they never found the body or tracked down Jessica's lead. Fingerprints and shoe marks on the ground enough to convict her. During the investigation, police found in the house, Jessica has a nest similar to Debbie's. Saw an opportunity, Lauren offered to help find Jessica. In return, the police can provide the case file. This provides more useful evidence and to prove. Clean. By clairvoyant power, it's not hard for Lauren find out exactly where Jessica died. To help the case stand still. For months ended quickly. Keep your promise. The inspector transferred the entire case file and Lauren's study. I hope to save innocent lives. About on. Haunted bag finally came to tie to husband and wife Ed. I said differently than last time. This time the devil whispered to me that it craved my soul, forcing Debbie to contact Father Newman. Please keep an eye on this time. Ed and Lauren need to speed things up, learn how the curse works, and discover who's behind it. I remember the moment of the exorcism. David Lauren said a few months ago, there's got to be some connection between the water and their victims. So we both need to go to the morgue where Jessica's body is, and hopefully we can catch that connection. As predicted, Lauren stopped her in time. The witch is trying to harm you. But this is a two-way connection. Lauren saw her. That means the Warrens are in danger. In 1 month, the morgue lights went out. The middle corpse under the control of the witch. He attacked Lauren before. Ed pulled her away from danger. Based on the real book, Ed found out they can break curse by destroying the altar of demons. Half of the book I can't translate. Lauren also shared, at the time of clairvoyance, she had a glimpse of the altar deep underground, somewhere not far from the railroad. There are thousands of such places in the region, nowhere to look now. To translate the book, Lauren plans to go to Father Kastner's house. Ed and Drill need to find the witch's address. Debbie with Dad. Newman was put on guard at the prison. Don't let me do something stupid. Through the data provided by the police. That's in conjunction with what Lauren said about illusions. Ed realized there was a possibility that the altar was placed at Father's house. If so, Lauren's in big trouble because she's going there alone. Suddenly, Lauren appeared at the front door. Jack Kastner led her to the basement. He looked at her and confessed, "It's all because of my daughter, Isla." Years ago, his wife died shortly after giving birth to Isla. I'm afraid the church will try to harm my child. Kastner secretly hid her in the basement for many years. Even though I love my daughter, access to a lot of material about teachers, the devils called deformed Isla and betrayed God. Father Kastner knows it all, but you're not willing to accuse me. And that led to today's tragedy. Suddenly both of them jumped because of Isla's footsteps coming down from the house. Forced Father Kastner opened the secret door for Lauren to run through. You could have stopped this from the beginning. But it turns out, blind love hurts both you and your daughter. I sold my soul to the devil. Isla didn't hesitate to kill you, Ra. Pursued power, determined to get rid of Lauren. At the same time in prison, RNA starts to have seizures. Break the rope and prepare to complete the final stage. In the list, the death of the devil. Then I heard Ed's voice from the other side of the tunnel. Isla used a spell to blind you. You can't tell right from wrong. In the twists and turns, Ed plunges into Lauren attack, and there's just a little bit left to take your life. But love, it's what helped the Warren couple overcome so much. Turned out to be stronger than Isla thought. With clairvoyance, Lauren showed Ed a series of pictures, the same love they have for each other, from which to remove Isla's spell on you. Ed cast a spell to destroy the RNA altar and Isla. She did not fulfill her contract with the demon. He was summoned and killed by it. From there dragged her soul to a dark hell. Complete the curse. The nightmare is finally over. Accused of manslaughter, he was sentenced to 5 years to close a landmark case. And that's the whole journey, to eradicate the evil of the Warrens that we want to tell you. According to the plan in September 2025, Warner Bros. Will release the final part in the Conjuring series. Ed and Lauren are married. We'll face any more horrific cases besides that. You guys, I want us to do more stuff. The Terrible Universe.